It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to do the unexpected, the actually very expected, because this is part 6 to a multi-part series that we got going on, where I give you 10 cars for under different price ranges, starting from $1,000 all the way up to $100,000. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, 25, 50, and then 100K. Today is obviously under $6,000. It's part 6. That just makes sense. And in every video, I give you 10 different cars. So if you watch the first 10, you can get 100. Yes, 100 different cars for under $10,000. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good deal. But anyway, guys, if you want to support the channel any more than you already are, head on over to www.smoothstance.com/shop. Pick yourself up a hat, shirt, or shorts. And with all that out of the way, let's get right into the video. Okay, so starting this list off very strong in the number 10 spot, it has to go to the very underrated Ford Taurus SHO. There's 2 generations, actually there's 3 generations of this car, but we are specifically talking about the 3rd or the newest generation today. It comes with a huge 3.5 liter twin turbocharged V6 that makes 365 horsepower, and it was all-wheel drive. And you guys know how like the Ford Crown Vic was obviously the car that was used by police for just like years, right? Well, the Ford Taurus SHO is now what they're using, and trust me, they do not pick slow cars for the police, okay? If they're going to be chasing people, that car better be quick, and this thing is quick as hell. Now, it doesn't look that great, it doesn't look that fast either, because it is just a Ford Taurus, but if you like sleeper cars, then this is perfect for you. Next up is yet again another underrated car. It is the freaking Toyota Supra that's my name, 3. I actually made a whole good, bad, and ugly on this car, so if you want a more like in-depth review on this car, go ahead and watch that. But it comes with a 3-liter inline 6 that makes 225 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive, and there are multiple engine options for under $6,000, but I think that this is the best one. It's pretty much a 2JZ but without a turbo. And so if you like the 2J, you're gonna like this, my boy. Now, these cars aren't higher on this list just because they are you know, pretty unreliable, and they're almost always going to be beaten up, especially if you're buying it for under $6,000. But if you can look past that, and if you know some mechanics, or if you yourself are a mechanic, then this is a beautiful car that has very good potential behind it to be an absolute ripper. Next is going to be yet another American-made beast, okay? It is a freaking Dodge Charger RT 6th generation, which is the generation that like nobody talks about for some reason. It makes me mad. They are literally a scat pack before scat packs were a thing, okay? Don't sleep on them. They came with a 5.7 liter V8, making an incredible 368 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive. But there is one very, very massive downside to this vehicle, and that is that they did not come with a manual transmission, because for some reason Dodge thought it was smart to not put manuals in their Chargers. Makes no sense, I know, but they did it. But if you do want something that's very quick in a straight line, and you don't want to have to pay like $50,000 for a freaking scat pack, then pick this up, because like I said before, this is pretty damn fast, okay? It's a fast-ass Charger. Like, the new Chargers aren't the only Chargers that are fast, people. Number 7 is quite literally the complete opposite of the Dodge Charger. It is not fast. It is not a new car. It is not comfortable. It's not American. It's the bloody Volkswagen Beetle, sir. The old one, to be specific, the one that lasted for like 50 years. And to be honest with you, there's so many different engine options that this generation came with, but they are all pretty slow, so it's really not even worth telling you which one. Pretty much though, if you're gonna buy an old Beetle, you shouldn't really worry too much about the engine anyway. But no matter what engine that you do go with, you have to be a certain kind of person to actually like enjoy this car. They are very small, they are very slow, they're uncomfortable, they're not very practical at all either, but they look freaking sick. And just imagine like it's summertime and you're cruising in your old Volkswagen Beetle listening to like Papa Roach or something. You'd be the coolest kid in town, man. All right, you'd be getting all the ladies' numbers. All right, number 6 is a car that people do not talk about enough. It is the BMW Z3. This thing is pretty much the German Miata, okay? It's light, it's got low power, and it's a convertible 2-seater with good weight distribution, and it's just amazing. It comes with a 3.2 liter inline 6, making a very nice 220 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive. And people are actually starting to pick these up as drift cars. And we all know what happens when drifters get their hands on a car. The price will absolutely just skyrocket. So if you do want one, I recommend buying one now, because I can easily see these things flying up in price very, very soon. But even if you don't like drifting, they also handle very well. So if you decide, you know, hey, I want to go autocross, then they can do that. They have very good weight distribution, and they have a wonderful BMW engine underneath the hood, that same BMW engine that was in the 3 Series at the time, which at the time was the E46, baby. Number 5, halfway through the list, we are already here. I know it's crazy, and it is the freaking stinking Lexus IS250 second generation. The IS350, by the way, is probably going to be a little bit over $6,000, but that's okay because the IS250 is still a very good deal. It comes with a 2.5 liter V6 that makes a mediocre 205 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. So if you want to be boring, go ahead and get the all-wheel drive model. But if you want to have fun in your little underpowered Lexus, buy the rear-wheel drive model, my sir. The rear-wheel drive one is also much lighter, so it is a little bit quicker as well, which is just cool. But these cars can pretty much do it all. They're very reliable daily drivers, and they're incredibly comfortable. Imagine you have that whole package, like they're a Lexus too, and you get aftermarket support for them, and they look cool, and they're rear-wheel drive. You get all that for under $6,000, bro. That's a damn steal. Number 4, however, is a truck, because we do not talk about trucks enough on this channel, and that is about to change, son. It is the Chevy C10, which is a very old truck, in case you didn't know, but in my opinion, it is still one of the best looking trucks out there, and they still do what you need a truck to do, people, so who cares that it's old? As long as it does truck things, it's a truck. It comes with a 4.8 liter inline 6 making 170 horsepower, and it was either 4x4 or you could get a rear-wheel drive only model, but in my opinion, either one is a good deal, because if you're buying a truck, it makes sense if you want the 4x4. And yes, I suppose that you could turn this into a drift truck if you are like just an absolutely mad lad, but I recommend lifting it and keeping it looking pretty good, because these things do just look so freaking nice when they're lifted. Like, I'm not even a truck guy, but these old C10 pick 'em up trucks, whoo, Nelly now, call the corner. Third place, sir, here we are. It is the legendary Infiniti G37 Sedan. This thing is so gosh darn underrated, and that honestly is partly my fault, because whenever I talk about the G37, I always talk about the Coupe, and I never talk about the sedan, but it's time to stop, okay? Believe it or not, this very boring looking grandma sedan is pretty much just a 370Z with 4 doors, my good sir. It comes with the same exact motor, a 3.7 liter V6, making a very nice 330 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, but I highly suggest buying that rear-wheel drive model, because imagine drifting a G37 sedan. You're a baller. You're a baller doing donuts in your G37 sedan. These things are also insanely good daily drivers if you just want like a little bit of a fun daily driver in your life that still gets good gas mileage. They do that really well. And if you do want the all-wheel drive model, it's still a very good car, and it's still gonna have a little bit of pep in step. Second place, I feel like we're in America a lot today. We're back with another American-made muscle car. It is the Chevy Corvette C4, one of the cheapest models of Corvette that you can buy today, and boy, oh boy, is it freaking worth every penny. It comes with a massive 5.7 liter V8, making 240 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive. And people are kind of starting to realize that the potential that the C4 Corvette has, but still they're not realizing it enough. They are one of the best platforms out there for the price that they are, and if you want one, I think hopping on it now is a great idea, because recently a bunch of YouTubers like Adam LZ are getting involved with building up these C4 Corvettes, so I can easily see these things flying up in price very, very soon. So get in while you still can. They're going to be insanely overpriced pretty soon, but they're a great car. They're a freaking Corvette. They're incredibly underrated. If you like the C5 Corvette, the C4 Corvette is pretty much the same thing. The honorable mention for today is the Dodge Neon SRT4, one of the most legendary tuner cars of the 2000s, and for good freaking reason, buddy. They come with a 2.4 liter turbocharged inline 4, making 230 horsepower, and it was sadly front wheel drive, but that's okay, because it seems like every tuner car in the world is front wheel drive, so it kind of fits the bill. It's one of the only American tuner cars that actually like worked within the car community. It was accepted. And that's saying something, because America tried to make like the Cobalt, the Ford Focus SVT back then, and everybody else just failed. But Dodge with their Neon, it was pretty good. All you got to do is slap a bigger turbo on it and tune it, and you got yourself a supercar Gappa. Number 1, however, first place is a car that we all know and love on this channel. It is the Hyundai Genesis Coupe. Why wouldn't it? The one we will be able to find under $6,000 is going to be a BK1 Genesis, or the pre-facelift Genesis. So it comes with a 3.8 liter V6 that only makes 290 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive. But if you can save like literally only $1,000 more, then you can get a BK2 and have 50 more horsepower. Now, the Genesis Coupe also has a turbo inline 4 option that has way less power. I think it's 210 horsepower, but it has a lot more tuning potential. So if you like to tune cars and you like to build them up to be faster, probably should buy that one. But if not, and you just want a fast car out of the gate, then the V6 is a better option. But anyway, these cars are one of the best options for somebody looking for a sports car for cheap nowadays. It can do whatever you really want it to. It's a new car with very good power and very good looks, in my opinion, for the price of like a 350Z, which was built in like 2003. So that's a pretty damn good bargain, my sir. Plus, like I said, you can drift these things and they take it like a tank. And they also very good handling car. It's just such a good package all around for $6,000. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video. Top 10 best sports cars or fun enthusiast cars for less than $6,000. It's part 6 of the multi-part series that we got going on. Tomorrow, I think we might be doing another good, bad, and ugly. I'm not too sure on that. I'll have to figure out what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I don't know. But on Friday, it's going to be top 20 sports cars under 5K in celebration of hitting 20,000 subscribers. So thank you guys so much. I can't believe that I'm doing this full time, by the way, now. That's just unbelievable to me. So thank you guys so much. It feels every day I wake up and I'm like, all I gotta do is make a YouTube video for the homies. And I like doing that. So it doesn't even feel like it's work. It's awesome. So thank you guys so much. I love it. But either way, das vidanya and have a nice night.